Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another SCP episode. The Old Man. It sounds cringe. I wasn't gonna watch this one. This was forced upon me by all the people in my chat, basically saying, Nux, you have to watch the Old Man one, it's terrifying. Bro, there is nothing scary about an old man, okay? Like, please, bro. Please, bro. Now, let's see what this old man is all about, bro. I just saw the Scarlet King, all right? I just saw hyper interdimensional Satan, all right? Dude, old man isn't gonna be scary.
It's 3 a.m. and the facility is quiet.
Dude, if it's not a Denny's parking lot, bro, it ain't got nothing.
Office workers and administrators roam the halls. Security officers stand at their posts, clad in advanced tactical armor and carrying standard-issue M4 carbines. 3 Foundation employees sit at flickering monitors watching a live feed of footage from the containment cell of the infamous SCP-106, or as it's referred to by all staff, the Old Man.
Bro, they called it the Old Man, bro. If it was really scary, they would have called it something else. But they didn't. They called it the Old Man, implying it not being scary.
No Foundation personnel are permitted to travel within 60 feet of the cell for security reasons.
You can't even go near the cell? What? I have never heard of an SCP like that before.
And nobody is permitted to physically interact with the anomaly without the approval of 2/3 of O5 Command.
Dude, this is the second one in a row that I'm learning about O5 Command. What is up with these 5 guys? Are they dangerous? Are they bad? Are they good? What do they do?
The observer's eyes itch and sting from hours of unending blue light exposure, but they can't look away.
They just have to have constant surveillance on the Old Man? Dude, he's just an old man, bro. Come on, brother.
The Old Man is crafty.
SCP-445, the cupcake. No, chat.
He might have the insatiable bloodlust of a hungry great white shark, but he's not mindless. He's a calculating predator, more sadistic than the worst human serial killer, and he's always searching for the next opportunity. According to the Foundation record,
wait, so he's a genius, this guy? How'd they catch him?
He's been active since at least World War II, and it's estimated that he has hundreds, if not thousands, of victims to his name.
Holy shit. So he's just a serial killer. Why can't you go near his cell? Does he have, like, anomalous powers? I mean, obviously he has anomalous powers or the SCP wouldn't give a shit about him. But, like, dude, he's just a cunning old dude.
But extremely foolish mistakes of underestimating him. After all, it only takes a few seconds of inattentiveness and the briefest moment of distraction to give him the window he needs. To do what, you ask? Oh, don't worry. You'll find out.
Wait, so, oh god. So this guy really is, he's just a serial killer. Right, he's a serial killer, and now he's old, and they caught him. All right, okay, listen, that's not too scary.
Just like they did. The Old Man has his nickname for a reason. Most of the time, he really does look exactly like that, an old man. Or more specifically, an old man's decaying corpse.
Oh, so he's a zombie. So he's a zombie serial killer. All right. You know the only thing worse than a serial killer? An immortal one.
Body covered in rotten, dark, grayish-black flesh that looks like putrid meat. Though the creature has been observed being able to change shape, the rot seems to run too deep for the Old Man.
What the fuck is going on with her boobs? Wait, what?
The creature has been observed being able to change shape.
What? That's the Old Man? Dude, what?
The rot seems to run too deep for the Old Man to ever hide it. Foundation employees that have observed SCP-106 for extended periods of time have reported seeing it assume the form of grinning, decayed children and women whose rotted flesh barely hangs on their creaking bones.
Okay, that's scary. What?
Just seeing the images through a video feed is enough to cause a lifetime of insomnia.
So he's like a really bad chameleon, right? He could transform into other people that just happen to have their flesh peeling off. It's just a zombie skinwalker out here, all right? That's not so bad. Come on, dude. We've been dealing with indestructible lizards, okay? Like, I feel like as far as the SCP Foundation goes, this guy's kind of a bit of a joke, right?
And other sleeping issues. Still, they have a job to do, and the cameras remain fixed on the Old Man. He's been completely motionless for 3 months, just sitting there like a Buddhist monk in deep meditation. A novice might see this period of inactivity as a cause for celebration, but those with experience know that this is merely the calm before the storm.
What does that even mean? Just kill him then. Well, I guess he's immortal. But like, come on. Can't you just take him and plop him in with the lizard and just get rid of each other?
SCP-106 can remain in a dormant state for months at a time. Described by the Foundation scientists as a lulling state, it's believed that the Old Man is simply waiting for its captors to get soft, make a mistake, or simply have a momentary lapse in concentration, which is all it needs to make
it just by walking near its jail cell?
its move. It had happened so many times before, and it was about to happen again. One of the observers must have felt an overwhelming wave of anxiety as he saw the creature ever so slightly twitch. Just a tiny quiver in the shoulder muscles.
Oh, shit. He's sleeping for months and then a little twitch. A little movement.
But that was enough to tell the observer that their day had just taken a terrifying turn. He grabbed the emergency phone fixed to his desk and practically screamed into the receiver that 106 is moving, that they need a tactical team stat.
What? Why? Just because he moves? Like, I guess he's tough to contain somehow, but that's a level of surveillance that's just insane. Why don't they have him chained up? Why do they just leave him sitting there? If just his twitching is enough to call in a tactical team, like, dude, they gotta get this guy freaking lobotomized ASAP.
But he was already too late. He and the other two observers stared into the monitors with their mouths agape as a gooey rust-like substance began to pool around the creature on the floor of its cell.
What?
Slowly, the creature craned its withered neck around. Its face was fixed into a broad, yellow-toothed, lipless grin. Its eyes had the kind of dull, flat malice of an underwater predator. It looked directly into the camera, directly at them, and smiled. The observers knew.
That is so scary. Oh my god. It's like he knows what's going on the other side of the camera almost.
This was bad. Really, really bad. With what they could have sworn was a little nod, the old man began sinking into the rusty puddle it made on the ground.
Oh! He could just melt through? Okay, so he's a Keter class object because he's hard to contain. He's also a serial killer, and I guess he's immortal. But I feel like that there are better ways to deal with him, right? Like, he doesn't seem that powerful per se.
Ground beneath it until it had disappeared entirely. SCP-106 is capable of phasing through any solid surface with ease, making it one of the hardest entities to reliably contain.
Okay, all right. Dude could phase, bro. Bro has Kamui. Fine. All right, so he's hard to contain, and they have to have constant surveillance on him because so how do they catch him to begin with, right? I feel like catching him to begin with should be impossible.
And earning it a spot on the dreaded Keter class, reserved for the anomalies that are complete nightmares to keep locked up. Through the years of costly research and deadly trial and error, the Foundation would later devise ways of at least slowing the creature down. It's shown to have an aversion to lead, highly complex.
Bro has Superman rules. Dude has Superman laws.
Or random physical structures, and intense bright light. None of these cause.
They should keep him in intense bright light. Yes, you'll pay a little more for the electric bill, but brother, this guy could just phase out of stuff. Man could just go into holes.
Harm to the creature, as far as we know, literally nothing can, but they'll at least buy you some precious extra seconds with which to at least try and escape. Seconds the three observers didn't have. One of them grabbed an emergency line again and barked into it that they had lost visual on the anomaly. Just then, the observers heard a faint crackling sound behind them.
He knew where the people were watching on the video camera. This thing is too intelligent.
And the hissing of a chemical burn. They turned in horror to see a huge rusty burn mark expanding across the wall, right next to the door, which was their only escape route. They backed as far away from the door as they could as a rotten hand began reaching out of the mass of corrosive black sludge,
Lord.
followed by the grinning.
Dude, there's just something about intelligent monsters that are horrifying. We always somehow equate intelligence with some level of humanity. Just that weird cognitive dissonance between what it takes to be a human and what it takes to be moral is innately horrifying.
Base of SCP-106, ready to have some fun. Meanwhile, two heavily armed security officers, Agents Goodwin and Resnick, came charging down the corridor toward the observation rooms. It became a bleak slogan during SCP-106 escape attempts that all you need to do is follow the screams. And that motto was proven
That is not good. What?
true that night, because
It's vicious, it's evil, it's vindictive. Not only does it think and knows more than it should even be capable of understanding, it takes so much pleasure in this, right? If this is some sort of immortal, right? This is the old man. What's so scary about calling it the old man is the fact that it will always just be an old man. It'll just live forever. It's in no rush. It can use up all of your resources just watching it, and one day it'll be like, all right, and it'll wake up, it'll walk through some walls, and it'll murder the people that are terrified of him. And okay, they'll catch him again, they'll put him in his cell, but it's only inevitable until he actually does that again.
awful things were happening to the observation personnel. They were certainly screaming about it. Of course, even with the top-of-the-line firearms, there was little they could do to harm the rampaging old man. He seemed immune to all forms of physical damage. All they could hope to do was keep the thing distracted until the scientists and containment
They just walk in. There's no way. They walk into the room with their giant assault rifles and they just go to get his attention.
Specialists finished the preparations to lure
Bro,
him
the old man's just Rick Sanchez, except a little pettier.
back into his containment cell.
He has portals, he's old, he's petty, he's old.
Goodwin surged forward while Resnick covered his six. Vigilance was key, as unlike a standard human combatant, SCP-106 could attack from literally any angle, including above or below. Physical obstacles were irrelevant to him, and no cover was safe. The hardened security officers could see the burn mark on the wall of the observation room as they approached. SCP-106 was perpetually coated in a thick black mucus with powerful corrosive properties that left any surfaces it touched permanently marred.
Bro, it's just the anti-cum. This guy is too strong. None of us have a chance.
Foundation scientists speculated that this mucus served as a kind of pre-digestive substance that tenderizes
Pre-digestive? He digests you before killing you. God damn.
meat and bone alike. But to what purpose this serves is a mystery, as the old man has never been observed eating. It's postulated that the only purpose is causing additional pain. Goodwin and Resnick
Additional pain. Dude's just vindictive and evil.
knew to treat this hissing sludge as a potential threat, as the corrosive properties would remain active for as much as 6 hours before finally fizzling out. The two officers shared a quiet nod before Goodwin breached the observation room door with a hard kick. The two of them surged inside, guns at the ready. In their time working at the Foundation,
What do you mean searched inside? Is he just not there?
they'd seen some truly horrific sights. From the mutilation of D-class personnel, typically death row prison inmates brought in for use as SCP guinea pigs, to the violence and
God, dude, that's so horrible.
mayhem of a containment breach. But there was nothing in their past that would ever make the horrifying sight they saw in the observation room that night feel normal. All three observers were dead. Almost nothing remained of two of them, and the third, while still intact, no longer looked human. He looked like he'd somehow been dead 100 years in the brief period that the old man had been free.
Oh my god. This old man is so fucking scary. It's like pure human intelligence. It's like an observational serial killer that's just unstoppable, right? I think the ultimate fear of the reason why serial killers are so scary is because you don't know who it is, right? You don't know if you're next. The reason why he's scary is because you know who it is and you know you're next. It's like it's taking the classic serial killer horror story and flipping it on its head, somehow making it even scarier.
His skin was gray and completely dried out, and his mouth was locked into a perpetual scream. It was a massacre, but there was no sign of the old man. Goodwin grabbed his
Well, he could teleport, right? He could just portal through walls, so.
radio and whispered, "This is Goodwin in Observation Room 6, requesting immediate backup. We have no idea where this thing," but his sentence was cut off by a sudden scream from Agent Resnick. SCP Foundation security officers are as tough as nails, the best of the best, you might say. Recruited from the top military
There's no way, bro. They named him Mr. Resnick. Did they give him a name just so you'd feel bad if he dies?
organizations in the world, so hearing one of them scream in fright is a rare, if not impossible, occurrence. But even they were forced to yell out in fear when they looked up to see the old man standing on the ceiling, grinning down at them. Resnick raised his M4 and shot a 3-round burst at center mass. SCP-106 didn't care. Even under sustained gunfire from the two security officers, it didn't flinch. The old man simply reached down and snatched Agent Resnick from the ground like it was picking an apple from a tree. The old man held Resnick in one hand.
God, dude. So he's strong too. Not super strong, but he's strong.
And pounded its other rotten fist into the agent's body, breaking all of his bones.
It's so interesting. Like, I guess the thing, he's like an incarnation of fear almost, right? Not fear in some ethereal way like Dementors in Harry Potter, right? Where they make you experience fear. Or the Hole from Rick and Morty making you experience your fear. It's not fear on some metaphysical level. It's just the fear of knowing that it's inevitable.
Resnick screamed for his partner to help him, but before Goodwin could do anything, SCP-106 began receding back into another slimy burn mark on the wall. Only this time, he was taking his screaming victim with him. Agent Resnick gave one more horrified scream before he was pulled backward into the inky darkness, leaving the room.
How'd they even capture this guy to begin with? There's no way he's indestructible, right? The lizard, 682, is indestructible. There's no way this guy's also indestructible. You know why he left Goodwin alive and he just took Resnick? Because ironically, it's scarier to leave him alive. Because he knows that he's next and he doesn't know when it'll be. It's that impending doom. Dude is just absolutely callous and horrifying.
You might think this would be the end of it, But no, for poor Agent Resnick, the worst was yet to come. He was being dragged into what the SCP Foundation scientists refer to as the Old Man's Pocket Dimension.
Dude, it is Kamui! Oh my god! I said that like as a joke 10 minutes ago, but it literally is just Kamui.
A miniature layer of reality within our own, where the malicious SCP is essentially a cruel, all-powerful god. According to witness reports extracted from victims.
Oh my god, dude. That's insane. Wait, is that what they tried to do to SCP-682, right? 682, the indestructible lizard. He put him in that pocket dimension, and that wasn't enough, right? He ended up getting, even this guy, even the old man, doing all of this, putting him in a torture dimension to torture him for eternity, it wasn't enough. And his spirit ended up getting broken by the lizard. That's actually kind of insane. It's like, instead of an indestructible force versus an immovable object, it's a sadist versus a masochist. A sadist can never beat a masochist, because the masochist is just gonna take it.
Victims who were taken to this little nightmare realm. The dimension resembles a series of twisting, endless corridors where the old man stalks and tortures his captured victims to the breaking point, manipulating space and time to his own sadistic ends.
Oh my god, bro, that's insane. Lizard just sitting there, I could do this all day.
On rare occasions, the SCP will even release its victims just for the joy of hunting, capturing, and torturing them all.
Bro, just giving them a little semblance of freedom for sport. Oh my god, dude.
Over again. While Agent Resnick was learning the true meaning of terror, containment specialists were mobilizing in its cell, preparing the one known, tried and true method of luring the old man back, tempting it with the prospect of causing even more suffering.
That's why it's a Keter-class creature. Not that it could destroy a country or blow up a planet or any of that shit. But it's a Keter-class creature because the only way to keep it at bay is to constantly feed it death row inmates to torture. You can only placate it. You could never truly contain it.
In order to do this, Foundation personnel take one of the aforementioned Class D personnel and begin inducing extreme pain by breaking a major bone or slicing a tendon every 20 minutes.
And it doesn't even contain him, it just entertains him. The best they can do is entertain the old man.
The victim's agonizing screams are then played over the facility's intercom, acting as bait for the pain-loving old man. The screams echo through the facility's otherwise silent halls as the mutilated corpse of Agent Resnick falls from a new scorch mark on the ceiling. The old man can hear the sounds of suffering ringing out through the air around him, and he can barely contain his excitement over the prospect of a new plaything. The snapped femurs, the torn Achilles tendons, it was all too good to miss.
Oh my god, dude. Bro, god damn. It's like, obviously, the SCP Foundation is corrupt as shit to be able to go ahead and do this stuff. But if you think about it, what's the alternative, right? You take a death row inmate and torture him for eternity to placate the old man so he doesn't torture innocent people.
Having had its twisted fun with the security officers and observers, SCP-106 wandered back to its containment cell, where a new screaming victim awaited. The other security officers, containment specialists, and scientists...
And it's not like they're outsmarting him either, right? They don't outsmart him to get back in his cell. The reason why he's back in his cell is because it'll be more fun for him. There is no way to actually cause suffering for this guy.
Evacuated the area, leaving the old man alone with his prey. While the unfortunate Class D was left to his fate, the rest of the staff commenced cleanup procedures, which mainly involve wiping the brown and black mucus from the walls. It would probably be at least another month before anything like this happened again. And
they know there's no quelling it. They know there's no stopping it. There's placating it until it's satisfied. Bro, the old man is just, he's gonna torture people until he busts a nut, enters a state of post-nut clarity until he gets his libido back to start just killing more people. And then they hire new people to observe him because no one that actually knows what he's capable of is gonna observe him. They hire new people to observe him, and it's inevitable that in a month or two, when the old man gets hungry again,
personnel would be transferred over to the facility to replace the fallen. All in all, just another night at the SCP Foundation.
That might be one of the most horrifying SCPs I've ever seen. Dude, that one was brutal! Remember how you started this with the old man can't be scary? Yeah, well, you know, listen. Yeah, okay, yeah. I guess.
Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Stay weird, fam.